answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Oh, we always got the truth here. This is Tim, the Senior Giant Straight Talk, powered by Online Big Blue LLC. Want to talk about a Justin Fields rumor? Going to talk about these rumors around Justin Fields. Oh, we got a little bit to chat about because I've been in communications and discussing a potential Justin Fields rumor. And I was trying to debate whether I wanted to go with the video. Because back early in the channel's infancy, we knew some people that worked around the Gettleman. Not around Gettleman, but we'll say around the Giants. And we were able to get information such as the Giants were going to pass on Andrew Thomas, that they were going to sign James Bradbury and Blake Martinez, and how we broke the story 24 hours beforehand that Matt Rule was not coming to the Giants, that he was staying in Carolina. So, but the problem is when the Gettleman regime left, any contact I had around the building went away. It disappeared because of the fact that you had a whole brand new regime come in, and it just kind of vanished. So, relying on some older sources for people that are currently still in the NFL, and one gentleman who's not in the NFL anymore. Sometimes I get little tidbits here and there, and when I find it to be, of good ilk, I sit there and, I tell you about it. And people are like, well, Tim, this is a long buildup. Of course it's a long buildup. I'm trying to get views on the channel. Damn. What's wrong with you people? Just kidding. But I kept hearing a rumor about Justin Fields. And it's a trade rumor. And I thought about it, and the rumor's twofold. And the one person that I got the information from is a pretty good source, and I was waiting for someone to confirm it on another source. I even mentioned on the stream I was waiting for an email. I got an email, but they didn't 100% confirm it. But the email read pretty much good to go. So I'm thinking that's good to go. From what I'm hearing and what's coming out of Chicago going into the combine, that the combine is going to be very important to the Bears. They're going to get a more in-depth and impersonal look at Caleb Williams. They're actually going to get to interview him. And not that Ryan Poles is basing his entire decision on Caleb Williams on the interview, but it's going to be important for the Bears to get that warm, fuzzy feeling, even more so, that Caleb Williams is their guy. That's the direction that they're going to go with. And they just want to from what I'm hearing, he just kind of wants to the whole Bears organization just wants to reiterate that they're all on the same page, that Caleb Williams is on the same page, and vice, so, and which makes sense because you are going to give this kid a lot of money. You're going to make him the first overall pick. You have to make sure he's going to be right for you and your organization. So the thought process is, from what I'm hearing, is that Justin Fields could be moved as early as the end of next week, or this week, I should say. Today's Monday. He could be moved as early as the end of this week. And I thought that was interesting because I kept hearing it more and more from people. And it was funny though, because my first thought process was, well, where is he going to go? Where do they think they could trade him? What do they think they can get for him? The asking price, from what some people are saying from the Bears, is going to be a first rounder. Okay. I don't think they're going to get that. I don't think the Bears are going to get that. But, if you shoot for the moon, you land above the star, upon the stars. So they say, when you wish upon a star. So, that makes sense. More than likely, they'll probably get anywhere between the second and third and maybe a later round pick. But I always felt that the destination was going to be important. Now, it was interesting that a lot of times you keep hearing that it's going to be a place like Pittsburgh. That Pittsburgh is, high on Justin Fields, but they're not sure exactly what they want to do yet. But there has been so much talk about Pittsburgh. He could end up in Pittsburgh. Mike Tomlin, perfect coach for someone like Justin Fields. And I was like, okay, would Pittsburgh be willing to make that trade? Will they be willing to take a shot? Maybe they were looking for someone in the draft. Maybe they feel that Mason Rudolph or someone else on the roster is going to be more of an option for them. I mean, I personally think that Justin Fields would be the guy if I was the Steelers. But then I kept hearing these two names, and it was like, huh. And these two names I thought could really shake up the entire draft. And the two names that I keep hearing over and over again, and like I said, this was from a guy that works in and around Chicago. He doesn't work for the Bears, but he works in the sports media industry. And he's like, Tim, I keep hearing the Commanders and the Patriots. And I was like, well, do you hear it loudly? And he goes, I know, and he knows somebody that works in New England. And again, he's not a person directly affiliated with the team. And that's why I said, I don't like doing these all the time, but like I said, I thought it was interesting. And he was speaking to this person, and they said that the Patriots are extremely high on a wide receiver in the draft, and they could potentially do two things. Make a move for Justin. They could always take a quarterback, or they can make a move for Justin Fields and then draft a wide receiver. That they don't have an issue giving up a pick or maybe two picks for Justin Fields. And I was like, well, hell, that would really shake up the draft, because then you have to think if the Patriots. I kept telling people, I kept hearing that Marvin Harrison Jr. is someone that the Patriots really love, that they really love Marvin Harrison Jr. And I was like, well, that's that could be something there. But like I said, it's evidently the sentiment in and around the building in both Chicago and New England that it could be the pick that the Bears could take Williams and then trade Justin Fields over to New England, and then New England grabs a wide receiver. And I keep hearing this over and over again. And then one of the other things I heard from someone else, that another name that kept coming up or keeps coming up is the Washington Commanders. That the Washington Commanders are maybe trying to make an immediate impact for their new ownership. That the new ownership is going to go all in. They all went all in with Dan Quinn. They're doing everything right. But there's talk that Washington thinks that they are not championship ready, but they could be playoff ready with a quarterback. And, like I said, but, to each their own there, that there was a potential that he could move for a second round, maybe a second to a third and a lower pick, maybe a 6 or a 7, fill the need in Washington. They see that they can grab lightning in a bottle in Washington, and then they could turn around and Washington could either potentially trade that pick, or they could turn around and take an offensive lineman. But what's getting me is this New England rumor. And I just can't escape. I keep hearing, like I said, we said, when did we say? I think it was the stream 2 weeks ago that I kept saying, I keep feeling for some reason I know what the head coach of New England is saying, that, we need to get our guy. But I keep hearing that, in reference to wide receivers, that there could be something there in New England, that they go with Marvin Harrison and they make that trade for Justin Fields. Because then if you did that, you automatically figure out your skill player position, a skill player issue, and in reference to wide receiver and your quarterback. That's why I keep thinking to myself, Daniel Jones, is he going to come back from the injury? Yeah. But are we excited about that? No, a lot of people aren't. That's why I keep saying, if you could get Justin Fields and you were the Giants and you get him for a late pick, not a late pick, but you give up one of your 2s and like a 6, there could be something there. And I like that thought process, because then you could still grab a wide receiver. You could potentially have gotten your quarterback in the future, and then maybe if you feel that you need something else in reference to a prospect, you can use a 3rd or a 4th, a 2nd, or your additional 2nd or 3rd round pick if you're Giants, and grab a quarterback. And this way you could have Justin Fields, a backup quarterback, and a developmental quarterback all at the same time, and you could still go out and grab a wide receiver. But like I said, I just think, I don't know. I can't tell you how much. I will say this. I believe what the person is telling me. I believe that they believe it's what they're telling them. I 100% believe that. And like I said, I do think that potentially if Washington went up and made that trade. I still think, my thought process is this. You figure Caleb's going 1. I think Washington's either going to take May or Daniels at 2. If Harrison goes at 3, I don't think Arizona's going to trade out of 4 because of the fact that they need a wide receiver and an offensive lineman. I don't think that the Chargers are going to trade out of 5 because they need a wide receiver and an offensive lineman and a bunch of other shit. But I do think then you could potentially have either May or Daniels fall to 6. Not that the Giants will take them. The Giants, they'll go, well, Chippy, my neighbors, or something such as that. But like I said, Washington needs a quarterback, and Washington needs some offensive linemen. So it would be curious because, like I said, if you're Washington sitting there at 2, you could literally trade for Justin Fields, go down a couple picks, and grab an offensive lineman, and still gain more valuable assets. But I'm going to say this again. I would not be shocked if Justin Fields did go to the Patriots and the Patriots took Marvin Harrison Jr. I think they look at it as a value. I think that they would look at it as a value position. Because if they don't get the opportunity to get, maybe Daniels is their guy and Washington takes him. Maybe May's their guy and, like I said, and then Washington takes him. You don't know. But for an easier case scenario, you can get a guy that still has, he's still on his 4th year and still has that rookie option to pick up. So you can have Justin Fields for 2 years and basically pair him with Marvin Harrison Jr. Just something to watch. And again, like I said, from what I'm hearing, a trade could be as early as the end of this week, and it could be to New England. I don't know for what. And then New England would potentially select Marvin Harrison Jr. Look at all these rumors surround me every day. Oh, we got to wait and see what kind of happens there. I don't know. We'll talk about it a little bit more on the Tuesday live streams. Make sure you stay tuned for that. And as always, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to ring that bell because you want to know why. That'll be awesome.